Hi everyone, so I'm back with another layout, and this time I'm using this paper pad from the works, which is about 7 to 8 years old, just because obviously I'm trying to get rid of some of my older papers, and there is some papers in here that are really nice, and I just ignored them basically because I keep buying new stuff, so I'm determined to try and get through some. So I picked this sort of blue and cream paper that it reminded me of like the waves, and also because it was really windy that day, I thought it just suited it, so I go with that one and I stick it down with some Pritt stick that I bought some new of because I've been having some glue troubles, and I do really actually like Pritt stick, so I stick that down. And then I want some orange paper because the postcard that I use, the seagulls have orange feet and beaks, so I thought the orange would look quite nice with the blue, so I do mat it on this dark orange paper from the Happiness and Sunshine paper pad from Craft Sensations, and I just mat all of the photos. So the photos are just of the bay in Whitby, and we went there just for the day. After our morning in Pickering, we went to Whitby for the afternoon and for some lunch. So I'm just trying to find where to put these because I wanted to block the title out again because I was going to make my own title. It's quite difficult with 3 6x4 photos, but I make it work, and I'm just trying to use up some of the scraps from matting the back of my photos just so I don't really waste too much paper. And then I was really excited to finally use some of this bunting because the photos themselves have bunting and flags in them. I thought it'd be really good to add some of my own, and these ones are from the Paper Posies collection from Dovecraft. So I just use some of the orange scalloped edge ones for that. So I just get them in position, and then I cut the amount of twine, if that's what it's called, down to how much I need. And then I use Anita's tacky glue, one I've been using all along, just to sort of create like a line of where I want to put the twine before trying and attempting to stick it down. Because it's tacky glue, it does stick quite easily, but because the twine's been sort of bundled up for so long, it has a little mind of its own, so I do have to sort of force it to stick down. And then I just stick down the flags individually, and I'm not going to cut down the twine until it's completely dry, just to avoid any sort of movement. But I stick down all of those buntings just at the top there, and I just leave it to dry for a bit. So the washi tape that I'm using, I'm literally just using some two thin plain coloured orange ones, just because there's a lot of patterns going on in this layout. I just thought the pale oranges would look it would just block it a little bit rather than create too many patterns. So then I'm using these cut aparts from the Simple Stories Vintage Coastal collection. I got quite a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't used yet, just because I always thought they were too tropical, but actually they've got some ones with like seagulls and stuff in and little boats, and I thought they'd be perfect for this thing. So I'm just flicking through them, and I do decide on a little boat, 2x2 I think they are, and then that one with the seagull in there, but the little 2x2 with the seagull in, I'm determined to use that, but I just can't find anywhere to use it, so it goes to the side. But I love that collection, and I just haven't been able to use it because we've not been abroad, but I decided to use a few for this trip to the seaside, even if it wasn't the Caribbean weather that I would like. So I stick these down after finding a place for them, and I let a little boat, because obviously there was a load of little boats in the bay. And then I decide on a stamp, and this is the Dovecraft like anchor stamp, and I just obviously use the black stays on ink, and I stamp it just next to the postcard. And then I'm just flicking through this little paper sticker book, which came from Neon Sheep, and I just find this little Rise and Shine orange sticker that I think is quite cute, just to add some more bits and pieces to the page. And then this is my little wood veneer box, and I had these last time in my last video, but with my sticker flakes, but this is my taller one with my little wood veneers. So I'm picking out these little boats that came from Paper Mania. They have loads of little collections of them, and I wanted these little boats, so I just add 3 of them to the page in separate little spots, and I just stick them down with the Anita's tacky glue again. And they're so cute, I just think they're adorable. And I think they're about £3 for a big box of them. And you get like 9 different styles and 5 of each, so you get loads for the money. So I'm just sticking those down. And then I decided I want something different, and I wanted something blue because I'd been using a lot of orange things. So then I decided on these little buttons. I got these buttons ages ago, and I'm trying to think which collection. They might be from a Dovecraft Christmas collection, like a snowflake or something, winter collection, and they're just blue little buttons, but I do actually have some trouble putting them down, so I actually use double-sided sticky tape, so that's probably why it's taken me so long to get them down, just because I'm sticking tiny little bits of double-sided sticky tape on each one, just because the glue wasn't having it basically. So I just put them all down, and I'm just pushing everything down to make sure it all stays in place. And then I decide on these little gems, and there's thousands of these little gems, but I decide on the orange and blue ones. And because of my nails, it's so difficult to try and stick them down. But I do add loads to the page. I add them all to the bunting, and I try and get them everywhere, basically. Then I just add some plain blue paper just for some journaling, and even though the one at the top looks really creased, I do actually strain it out, and also I'm going to stick something on top of it. That little receipt that you can see just above the page, that's our car parking receipt. I'm going to stick that on it anyway, but I wanted to photocopy it before I stuck it down, so I wasn't too bothered about it was a little bit creased because it wasn't going to be on show. So then I use these little alpha stickers. These came from Sainsbury's, and you don't really get that many of each letter, so I was happy to use these up, really. So that little gem just popped off, so I'm just using some glue to stick it back down. But yeah, so I stick that title down of Whitby. And then I'm just adding some washi tape just to the bottom and to the side of where I'm gonna, on the little blue paper, just to add a little bit to it. And then I'm gonna finally cut down the edges of that bunting. And then that's it. That's everything. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I will be back soon. Thank you. Bye.